Hey everyone, I'm Michael here from Sailfish again. We're joining you from our design office. We're in our 8th edition of our Factory Friday series, and we wanted to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes of how we design our boats and what goes into the process. So joining me today is Jeff Daum, our design manager, and so I'll kind of tee it off a little bit with you. What's your background? Where did you go to school? What was your major? You know, the basics.
Sure, yeah. I did industrial design at the University of Cincinnati, College of Design, Architecture, Art and Planning back in the 90s, so I don't want to date myself too much. And I did a lot of marine stuff. Even then, I kind of knew that's the direction I wanted to head in, so I manipulated some projects there and during my school years to be marine oriented somehow, whether they were toys or boats or anything like that. But went to bigger boats when I got out of school. Did 20 years at another competitor,
right?
And wound up here now. So yeah,
cool. So definitely a passion, you would say.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
You know, we're in your office now. So what type of equipment and tools are you working with? And maybe we can kind of pan over and give you a glimpse of the workspace. But
yeah, sure. You know, got a up-to-date tech. I'm using a Wacom sketch tablet, so like days of pen and paper, although I use those occasionally, are kind of over with now. So it's nice to have something you can just sketch and edit right there as you're working on it.
Definitely.
We're using Rhino 3D to do our conceptual models. It's very intuitive, so for designers, you know, a quick flow. The work process is pretty easy. And you can see some there. That's kind of where we are midway through a project now.
Little top secret right here
A
behind
little
the
bit,
scenes.
yeah, a little bit. I don't want to show you too much.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of how it works here. Then we can start anywhere from sketching on paper to and then load some of those sketches right into this and build 3D instantly from there. So
yeah,
it's pretty convenient.
Yeah, rapid modeling and analyzing the concepts. So what are some of the tools that you use to organize and plan? That's something that I'm huge on, and I gotta have a chart for everything. What works for you?
Well, not as designers aren't too big on charts, so we're visually oriented with that kind of thing. So I like to keep it's called like a morgue library. Essentially, it's kind of obscure term, but you keep images of the competition, the marketplace, even some just general surfacing in the transportation industry or product development. That's the kind of stuff that I gauge the temperature on where our products need to be, what's doing well, what's selling, what trends are coming, and try to apply some of that aesthetic into products as we go forward.
Awesome. Yeah, that kind of teased us into one of the questions we had lined up that was, how do you stay current on design trends and styles, and are there other fields or industries you use? So automotive, I see a lot of motorcycles, cool cars. Is there anything different that you kind of peek at from time to time? Or
absolutely, any kind of automotive and transportation design concept work is just a wealth. I mean, a lot of that's coming from some new, fresh designers. So it helps like the organization, even putting it up here where everyone can see. It keeps everybody aware of, hey, this is where things are going. You don't want to get left behind. So definitely transportation design, a lot of product stuff. Tech, although it's become so much more simplified now, keep an eye on it for like, okay, what's going to be down the road 20 years from now? Yeah. That kind of thing.
Well, I mean, it seems simple, but even the curves to a computer mouse, right? They're so well thought out, and there's a lot that goes into it. So yeah, that's neat.
Absolutely.
From your perspective, what are some of the unique design elements that make a sailfish?
Sailfish, it stands out that they're classic line. So it's classic nautical line. Like the sheer line stands out in this segment for sure for sailfish. I also think like the deep freeboard, absolutely. I mean, like it can be built as a selling feature, but even aesthetically, visually, when you step on that boat, you can see the difference.
Right.
I mean, it gives you a visual. I don't know. It's like a stability that it's inherent. That you know that you're going to have a dry ride just by stepping on the thing. But that gunnel line with the classic forms, I like to think of the overall design as a dignified simplicity.
Okay.
Sailfish tends not to overdo the boat. Good design is simple design. Form follows function.
Right.
So it's not overdressed, and I think that's what people that appreciate this brand are looking for. So we're going to keep that going.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the things that strike me, I think you pretty much covered it. The lines are beautiful and old school to me. And I love, it may be a little different, but I love the transom look to our new stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the things that are going to be coming out in the next year, maybe 2 years down the line. So yeah, that's a good perspective. How do you analyze needs, product requirements? So basically the voice of the customer, those kind of things. How do you balance that versus, like what you want to design, right?
Well, the customer is always right, of course. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the most powerful tool we have, is listening to like what buyers or current owners already have,
Yeah.
and what they can tell us, like, hey, this works, this doesn't, and then kind of compare that to what else we're seeing in the marketplace. And human factors is a big thing, especially on a product like this that you have to interact with everything. So as far as tools, it kind of goes hand in hand with what we said before earlier, just keeping up with what's going on. I have to follow a lot of human factors, elements, and ergonomics and that kind of thing, because differences in design can be just subtle shifts. I'm sure 2 to 3 inches. It's a game of inches in marine design anyway, so that can make or break a comfortable ride or an experience.
Yeah, wow, okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for our questions. We'll kind of share a couple screenshots and techniques that we're using in modeling, but I hope you guys enjoyed the behind the scenes look. And as always, safe boating.